Welcome to Make a Path Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and since Fear the Walking Dead is back, let's jump into some Q&As for season number 2. First off, if you are new here, you can find the rules to participate in the Q&A down in that video description. And another thing I want to mention is the timeline for the Q&As. Just real quick, we're going to be doing the majority of Fear the Walking Dead Q&As, obviously when it's on. Like during season 2, we're going to be doing it. Now, for the end of season 2, we're going to do it even like a month maybe after it ends to kind of cover where it's going to go and maybe to cover the overall season as a whole, some leftover questions. And then into season 3, I'm going to try to do the Q&As a few weeks before it even starts, maybe even a month and a half, something like that. That's what I'm thinking, just so you know where I'm at. Same thing for The Walking Dead, since it is something we've been with for a while now. Obviously, we have a lot more questions. There's a lot more to discuss. It's more heated. There's just more going on in that aspect. I can do The Walking Dead Q&A and get twice as many questions, comments, everything. Because of that, yeah, we will be doing The Walking Dead Q&A. Probably throughout the entire break. Not all the time, but every now and then I might drop one, like once every other week or something. With Fear the Walking Dead, we're going to do it once a week while it's on, and then during the break, after that month point when it's over, we might not do any Q&As for a couple months. So just putting it out there if you wonder where they went. With all that out of the way, let's jump right into our first question. Spin 2020. Don't the showrunners, writers, directors, producers, etc. listen to any fan feedback at all? It just seems like those jump starts and commercial hard breaks you were talking about could be addressed, as well as other criticisms the show has been receiving. Yeah, you know what? The show gets a lot of criticisms, and we can talk about that in a whole nother video. That is a heated discussion, and to be honest, some of the criticisms make making videos for this show frustrating. I'll be honest with you. Something odd happened in season 1 towards the end of the season. I was begging for it to be over, mainly because there was so much complaints in the comments section. It was either people who didn't like it or hated it, which, by the way, they were the same people hating it from the very first episode, saying, oh, I'm done, the show's over. The next episode, this is garbage, it's boring, I'm done. The next episode. So it's like, just be done with it. I beg you, I plead you. If you hate this show, just be done with it and move on. Like, for me personally, I love Walking Dead shows. However, not Walking Dead shows. I love zombie shows. I love zombie movies. I can't get enough. I've been that way since I was little. However, yeah, I cannot lie to myself or to you guys. This show is underwhelming. Same thing with Better Call Saul. I went into that thinking, man, I'm going to love this. And first season started going downhill for me. Second season, I like the characters. It's interesting, but nothing's hooking me. Same thing with Fear the Walking Dead. It's not hooking me. I could probably miss an episode and be like, I'll catch it next week. I miss an episode of some other show that I'm really crazy about, and I'm like, I gotta go on Amazon right now and buy it. That episode. But as far as fixing some of the criticisms, that's a difficult question because they might not see those criticisms as being valid. They might be looking at the bigger picture and say, you know what, you don't like these characters now, so what? You'll grow to like them. Which is kind of a mistake, and I do believe there's a few things they could have done where it's too late now to do it, where they could have added an element to actually make us fearful for the characters and to even like the characters. I do understand when people say these characters aren't likable. I love them because I like the actors. I mean, Madison and Travis especially, they are two people I was very excited about. I love them as actors. You know what I'm saying? They are good actors, bottom line, even if you don't like them in this show. As far as the jump scares and shit like that, unfortunately, I'm feeling like we're screwed. With Fear the Walking Dead, even a little bit in The Walking Dead, I just feel like we're screwed. We're going to get that anyway. For some reason, Hollywood cannot get it through its fucking head that jump scares are cheap, they're generic, and you almost lack talent having to use them. That's not, scary. That's annoying. It's irritating. It shows a lack in your ability to actually craft tension or suspense or fear at all. Jump scares to me are the telltale sign that you don't know what the fuck you're doing at that moment in time. And I will be a huge dickhead because it's at that moment now in entertainment. And this isn't just for Fear the Walking Dead. This is a little message for all of Hollywood. Knock that shit off. It does not work. Every day that passes, more and more people go to movie theaters and they come out complaining about jump scares. They are garbage. It's getting to that point where we just have, as viewers, as fans, we just have to scream in their faces, knock it off already. Jump scares suck. Next, Yuri Kennedy. Why was the hull of the capsized boat so full of bullet holes? It was shot up a lot. And then you ask questions like, why do these people have to be dead? It could be rogue sailors. Yeah, it does look like the boat capsized and then, it got shot up. And possibly we could look at the evidence. All right, the bullet holes were on the boat. I'm sure if it was a boat that was high enough shooting down, it could have blew through the bottom. But then, like you mentioned, well, wouldn't it sink? Okay, let's pretend the boat capsized. I didn't look at the evidence, so I could be missing something. But I'm just saying, let's say the boat capsized and there was people still surviving in and around the water, and for whatever reason, instead of just assuming they'll drown and be dead, which, yeah, you think you would just keep moving, rob them and keep moving, they decided there's someone under there alive still, we're going to shoot them and kill them, and that's why all the bullet holes were in there. They were just lighting it up, which is probably a telling sign that these individuals aren't just robbing people, they're pretty messed up, and they're out for blood. I mean, maybe they got a taste of blood and they love it, so they're like, screw it, let's kill them all. I don't know. Kim T. Hey, do you think it's possible you can see a gradual cast change? If there was a bigger group to choose from, maybe, then we would have more options to connect with some characters. I didn't know where you were going for a second there with that. You know what? It's too late for that now. They have already established their cast. It's just too late now to play, change around. I do have a feeling they're going to add red shirts, I'll be honest with you. I think they'll add that kid, and let's say potentially something happens where somebody becomes close to that kid and maybe saving them, and something happens where the kid died. I think they can do stuff like that. Instead of having a big cast from the beginning, it feels like we are with the main family, let's say the 4 or 5, just the family, not Danny, not Strand. And then what's going to happen is they meet people they like, and those people die, and, bottom line, I think it's too late for that. Shellcam, Dreadnoks. Ronnie, do you think the writers should have written the story tailored to the fact that us as viewers are more knowledgeable about the post-apocalyptic conditions? Listen, to be honest, I think they are. We are finding out stuff faster, in my opinion. Yeah, the characters, they're not Terminus Carol just yet, but we are finding out the details quicker. The characters are. I mean, shit, was it the first episode or the second they realized it's not the bites? Calvin, the drug dealer that Nick ran over, he wasn't bitten. Okay, so you see how we realized that in Fear in the first episode or two? Maybe not flat out confirmed, but it's there. And I feel like that is a lot faster. 1 or 2 episodes in the first season, compare that to 2 full seasons. I think so. Bad Habit. Who do you think is most interesting / best character, Strand or Salazar? I don't know why you're only letting me pick one of the two, but I will pick Salazar. Now, I'm more curious about Strand if he's hiding something, but I find Salazar and his past and where his character could go more interesting. Do you think the boat will become a long-lasting location like the farm? Well, you must have missed my video about it. A Prediction 2 video? Yes. It's a done deal. Whoever does not like the boat and you're afraid it's the farm, get used to it. It's a done deal. It's a location. It's a character, they said, in a behind the scenes. So yes, the boat, get used to it. I mean, we might lose it towards the end of the season, but right now, I would not be surprised if we're still on the boat in Season 3. And I shit you not. Tabitha the Goat. Do you think because Fear the Walking Dead doesn't have to follow pre-written storyline like The Walking Dead does, that it's more possible main characters could be killed off? You know what? No, I don't think it's more possible at all. Strand right now, he could be someone who it doesn't make it out of the season. But as far as Madison, Travis, and the 3 kids, I think at most only one of them, maybe not any of them, will die this season. Yeah, so I don't think they're going to kill off any main characters like that. I hope I get proven wrong, because I want this show to feel like anyone can go. Taylor Ryder. Do you think Nick's detox with heroin will eventually cause some major conflict? To me, and I hope I get proven wrong, but it feels like they already skipped over that. It feels like they said, okay, we showed him a couple times in Season 1 sweating on the couch. that's enough. That's not enough. For realism, I keep looking at them all of season 1 because, listen, that's their pitch. And yeah, I will, if I sound a little annoyed, it is a little annoying. As a fan, you hear this pitch of, man, we're going to take this junkie, we're going to put him in the apocalypse, shit's going to go down. And then you watch it and you're looking at it like, he's not acting like a junkie yet. A little bit in season 1, sure. He stole the guy's meds, sure. But now in season 2, it's like, is he not a junkie anymore? Is he clean? Is he healed? He still talks about his past, but where's the physical shit? Why can't we watch him shitting his brain? I didn't mean for it to be that, nasty, but I'm talking about physical things. We don't need to see him shitting himself, but I'm saying, why are we not seeing something psychological, physical, some kind of breakdown of him still? Because keep in mind, it's only been a few days, right, since the last time he took medicine. Is he still taking the medicine? I don't know, because they haven't told us. So I think he's being underused. For as much as they pitched, him being a junkie, he's underused in that aspect. Ryan McDonald. How do you think they'll introduce the Flight 62 characters? I think they're just going to come up to the wreckage, pretty much. I'm curious how they're going to do the timeline, but I think, yeah, that's it. They're just going to come across the wreckage. And we already know who will be introduced. It's going to be Charlie. That's what you asked her. They show her in the trailer, so yeah, they already showed us. Jasper Brazaz. How many seasons do you think they'll stay on the boat? Right now, I'm going to say 2 seasons. Why not? The question was, how many seasons will they stay on the boat? I just thought of that. Once they get off the boat, it now becomes almost identical to the original show. So that thought, unless they do something crazy and different, that thought might keep them on the boat for a good amount of seasons. I don't know. That's a good discussion. How long do you think they're going to be on the boat for? Maybe we'll talk about that. Terry Lockhart. Is Nick and Strand the Rick and Daryl of Fear the Walking Dead? I would say no. At this time, I don't believe so. Hannibal Gaming. Who's your favorite character and least favorite character? Right now, my favorite character would have to be a toss-up between Nick and... I'm going to pull a crazy one out on you. I think Travis. And that's a lot of bias because of him as an actor. I know his range, and I know where he can get. That dude can be a badass. It's up there right now between Nick and Travis. Little bit more Travis, because I feel like, again, they are not utilizing Nick as much as they could. Who's my least favorite? Right now, Chris. I just think he was bitchy and whiny as a character, and this has nothing to do with the apocalypse. The character's attitude overall is just a little whiny bitch. He does some things that are cool, that's fine. If he died now, I wouldn't care at all. So that's probably a good reason why he shouldn't die and get to the point where I do care. Evan Johnson. Why did Nick grab that boat yacht log? I think it was just to see what happened. I think he was just getting information. And that's probably a good source of information. That could tell them where they were, where they came from, what they were doing. It's not going to tell them who robbed them, I don't think, because let's keep in mind, they're not going to be getting shot at going, hold on, I got to put this in the log, So I think unless they came up to them the day before, that could be in there. That's pretty interesting. John Radeski. How do you think they will introduce personal weapons to the characters without recycling from The Walking Dead? I believe that's easy as long as they don't use the same weapons. But here we go. You can use a hammer. It's fine. Madison used a hammer. But we're not at that moment where these characters have those signature weapons. You could get a character with a sword. That's fine. But again, they're not there yet at this time. We saw Michonne where she was already somewhat adapted to this world. She came on the scene with her weapon. Negan, again, he came on a scene far into the apocalypse with his weapon. You have Tyrese, who came on the scene with his weapon. These are people who grabbed the weapon and they were using it since Same thing with Rick. That was his gun even before the apocalypse. So now it's after. We need to give them time. If they are going to use a signature weapon, we will see it. Its origin over time. Or they can go the complete opposite route and not give anyone an iconic weapon. A character weapon, let's say. Hope Insanity. Do you think Strand is keeping something from the group, like the reason they are going where they are going? Oh yeah, I do. Jake Therian. Do you think we will get a backstory on Strand and whose boat it really is? No, I think they'll mention that in conversation, but I don't think we'll get a backstory. Bianca Branch. What are your thoughts on Strand talking to himself on the boat? Do you think he was actually talking to himself or communicating? Well, you know what? After that preview, I think it's probably clear now he was talking to somebody, or he's just crazy and talking to himself, which wouldn't fit the character or what's going on right now, so I'd be shocked if they went that route. So I'm going to say he's talking to somebody, sure. But, yeah, it was a satellite phone, wasn't it? So it's not just like a radio. Yeah, so, yeah, he's hiding shit. Alright, so that's going to be our first Q&A for Season 2. This is to get it jump-started so you guys can ask questions down in that comment box below. You can also give your thoughts and opinions to the questions that I answered in this video. Put those down in the comment box. I'm done talking. It's your turn.